but I wanted to live there for a while before I started laying concrete, doing everything, because
Yeah, once that's down, that's a permanent deal there.
yeah, I just helped a friend here. She moved in, bought a home 6 months ago. Immediately started taking out.
Are you not presenting?
the tile, changing the kitchen. I'm thinking it was beautiful tile. And so she had an open house, and she said, you made my mind. I changed my mind. I don't like the tile I put in anymore.
Ooh.
You know, my wife and I are just as guilty. The very first thing we did was take the carpet out of the master bedroom and out of the living room and put in tile.
Yeah, he's interested.
That's what everybody
You know,
says.
we
No,
never
that's
decided
just
it.
that he's
It's
interested.
easier to keep clean.
Yes.
Yes, to do
Yeah.
here and TV.
You know, if you handle your air conditioning correctly, it's
It was an
cooler in
interesting
summer,
interview.
warmer in winter.
The tile, you mean?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
took
He was
out all the
reaching.
carpet in her home. We did
There
it.
just wasn't anything there.
I've got 2 small bedrooms that are for guests that are carpeted.
The same here.
First
And
meeting
the
in
master's
Wow, okay.
tile, but I threw down on these area carpets,
Yeah.
Yeah, we
But,
thought it
yeah,
was
I
January
agree.
too.
Tile's the
All
way
of
to
our
go.
original stuff, and then we found out.
We have tile and hardwoods, not laminate flooring, but regular real
There's a
hardwoods.
time frame.
There's no background
There's no
check
kind of-
or, I'm being
Yeah, somebody spent
facetious.
a lot of nights laying it.
Yeah.
I'm totally being facetious.
The
Yeah,
only
they put
thing I
some
had
laminate
to
in
do
my
is
place. I
certify
don't
you
care
just
for
make
it, so
sure
I.
you-
Sounds like walking on a drum.
And
Walking on a what?
Yeah. and,
Drum.
Oh, and to make sure you
Laminate
don't have
floors
any
are like
felonies.
walking on a
Or if
drum.
you have a
Oh,
felony,
drum,
then you
okay.
have to
Hollow.
have them restored. That's it.
The,
Wow.
So, or that you, okay, we also have to make sure you're
And
not
then my
on the
wife does
state
property
5-year bar
management.
for campaign finance fraud.
There's one
Right.
property she manages.
Well,
Well,
since,
the lady in charge of that, she
There's
goes,
a
we only have one person in the state right now.
They call it a
Oh,
common
really? His name is Jeff. I'm like, okay, fine.
Anyway, the
None of mine
guy
should be
works,
candidates.
I think
So,
Michael and I
he tends
both
to
did
move
the
out, and the guy next door
fingerprinting and
says,
background and
you
whatnot.
know,
Yeah,
split
yeah,
the
so
cost
we're
of
the
the fees.
for P and Z.
Yeah, we were the first.
Emails her
We were the first,
this
and
6-foot
it was a
high
joke
fence,
between
which is like- which I guess is
Mr.
what
Sane
people
and
do
I. He's like, I
nowadays.
don't want just a mugshot, and I was
But
like,
he
oh, I already did my
wanted-
background check and everything.
Oh,
I'm
what
good.
happened to those
Only
agendas?
at 1,200, we looked at the email, guys are fencing
They
guys.
never made it out.
My wife said, oh yeah, you're probably gonna have the guys over for a cookout and beer and throw it out in the weekend. I said, either that or else we'll have the guys do it during the week and charge it to him to bitch out. But we find out the guy has 2 German Shepherds.
Oh,
And those are dogs you can't insure around.
oh, you can't?
There's 14 dogs, and, you know, they list Chow Chows, and Akitas, Rottweilers, Dobermans,
Yeah, interesting.
German Shepherds,
Hairy dogs.
Belmutes, and any mixed breed and wolf hybrid.
Hmm.
And the reason I know that is that I did the research because my wife was having these people come with these dogs. I said, some of these dogs you can't insure around.
Mhm.
And if there's something that happens, they're gonna go back to the person that owns the property.
Yeah,
So,
interesting. Huh.
So are you gonna be on the council now? I read in the paper that they didn't even have to vote for you.
I guess, I don't know how that happened. I was expecting to have some challenge, but apparently I'm running
So
unopposed.
unless they have a write-in, nobody's
Right,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's there.
Be careful what you wish for.
I reckon, well, it was actually Mike's on, but it's actually been a plan in the works for a long time. I lived in county for 4 years before I moved into town, before I came to PNC. 4 this year.
I don't know, is it a prerequisite you have to be on plan and zoning before you? go to the
Apparently,
council?
I
I
heard,
guess it's
I
like
heard
a
it's,
stepping stone
I heard
for
it's
the
quite
city.
popular, yeah.
Yeah, Corey is on the council.
Corey was in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how
So you were appointed?
for.
No, she filed to run, but
Yeah.
nobody's running against her.
Wow.
I mean, I thought more people disliked me, but.
Well, you know, if people aren't gonna run for the position, they really don't have a
Yeah.
big voice as to complaining what's going on.
That's right.
There you go.
All right, folks, we about ready to roll here. When that thing turns to 6 o'clock, we're
We
going.
got
Yes.
one.
You wanna say pledge tonight?
Sure. As you know, with stuff like the Commemorative Air Force. I told my wife, I said, I'm old enough to remember what they called it, the Confederate Air Force.
Yeah, all these proper name stuff.
As a matter of fact, I still have some of the stuff that they used to sell at those shows.
Hmm. What are they calling it now?
Commemorative.
Oh. Okay, I'd like to call to order the June 7th, 2016 regular meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Mr. Pasiak, would you say the pledge?
Please stand. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Annie Lane,
Here.
Florence Sloan, absent. Michael Bacon,
Here?
Charles Merritt,
Here.
Gary Pasiak,
Here.
Claude Baker, absent, and Julie Van Wuffen, absent.
Thank you. Okay, has the board had a chance to look at the minutes from the last meeting? Any discussion or questions from that? They entertain a motion to approve the meetings as written for the May 3rd, 2016 zoning meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the minutes.
We have a motion and have a second.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Staff reports.
We'll have no staff reports at this time. I am available to give an update on the sign ordinance if you'd like.
That might be good because it's
Okay.
going to be enough to catch up with us next week.
Yeah. Next week we will be having a special meeting on the sign ordinance update. To date, we've had 3 meetings with a sign code committee, and we've had several iterations go through legal counsel. We should be wrapping up by either tomorrow or the next day, and we'll have that packet out to you hopefully by end of week. And you should be able to read through it pretty quickly. It's shortened by a lot, so it'll be good. Keep an eye out for any changes you think may be too drastic or maybe you have questions about. We are changing things by a lot. We will be increasing people's rights, so that's a really good thing. But just keep an eye out for things that you may have questions about. Any questions on that?
No, James,
No?
I think
Okay.
we're all waiting with bated breath for next Wednesday.
Great.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, moving forward to the public hearing portion of the meeting. Item 6A, consideration of possible action to hold a public hearing and to recommend to the town council adoption of ordinance 16-820 to rezone approximately 1.37 acres of real property located at 3385 Bacon Lane, Chino Valley, Arizona, consisting of a portion of a parcel number 306040002V as in Victory, located in the southeast quarter of Section 3, Township 16N, Range 02 West, Gila and Salt River Basin Meridian, from commercial heavy zoning district to single SR1, single family residential, 1 acre minimum zoning district. Applicants are Robbie and Maggie Vermelia. Did I say that properly? All right, James.
Good evening, members of the commission. Tonight we have a rezoning before you. It's on the north end of Bacon Lane, which is just to the north of Road 4 North, and the entire parcel is about 5 acres, but we'll only be looking at rezoning about 1.4 acres of that parcel. This is the subject property. For reference, this is, it's that bar that has the best burgers in town. I can't remember the name of it. Lucy's, yep, that's it. Thank you. Okay, so The request is basically to rezone 1.37 acres of a currently commercial heavy property to single-family residential 1 acre minimum. And the reason for that is that they would like to split the home that currently exists there off from the commercial heavy portion and sell just the home. So allowed under the current zoning, oh, I've got the wrong one there, sorry about that. So allowed under the current zoning is heavy commercial uses such as an auto yard or outdoor repair and dead storage. And allowed under the proposed zoning would be single-family residences and an 800-square-foot guest house. So, again, we're only rezoning the portion with the home on it, and that's shown here. So, currently, this entire somewhat triangular parcel is zoned commercial heavy, and the applicant is proposing a split here, which gives adequate space between the existing commercial workshop and the home to have a landscape buffer on the residential side. The access to the home is off of an easement on Bacon Lane, and the access to the commercial portion of the property is off Choctaw Lane. This is a bit more zoomed in. This shows the setback being 32 feet from the house to the proposed split. And then they would have a 20-foot landscape buffer on this side of the fence. And we have our existing workshop about 22 feet away from the split. The landscape buffer would consist of our normal landscape buffer, which includes evergreens, shrubs, that kind of thing, and a wall in between. So public outreach on this property was the normal UDO mail out letters to everybody within 300 feet of the property boundary. And we held a neighborhood meeting here at Town Hall on May 9th. No one was in attendance, so we moved on from that. General plan conformance, this is near a community core, however, it is outside of a community core, and it conforms with the general plan in that we allow for a mix of commercial and residential zoning there. Are there any questions about that rezoning?
Is the buffer zone going to be taken out of the commercial side of the property or the residential side?
The buffer will be placed on the residential side of the property, and that's actually a requirement of our zoning code, so that the residential portion of the property gets to see the nice landscaping.
Yeah, but I mean, is it coming out of the commercial? In other words, who's given up the area for the zone? Is it
He owns the entire property currently, and I'm trying to think of. So the landscaping will be on the residential side, so I guess technically the residents would be giving up that space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions for James?
If you have no questions for me, but have some for the applicant, he has made himself available this evening.
Yes. The applicant, would you like to speak? All right. All righty.
Mr. Chairman, if there's no discussion, I would like to make a motion.
I'll accept that.
I move to forward ordinance 16-820 to Town Council with the recommendation of approval.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Annie?
I do, in the history, at the time of the rezoning, the council asked the applicant for a perpetual offer to dedicate 25 feet of right-of-way on Bacon Lane. To the knowledge of the staff, this process was never completed. Staff has required that the applicants dedicate right-of-way during this rezone in order to secure future access for future residents on Bacon Lane. That is part of the agreement.
Yes, that's
Solid.
correct. Yep.
I'm good.
Okay.
Any more questions? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried unanimously.
Thank you.
Okay, moving forward to item 6B, consideration of possible action to hold a public hearing and to make a recommendation to the town council regarding adoption of ordinance 16-821 to rezone approximately 5 acres of real property located at 2099 East Perkinsville Road, Chino Valley, Arizona, consisting of a portion of the northwest quarter of section 13 Township 16 North, Range 02 West, Gila and Salt River Basin Meridian. Yavapai County Assessor Parcel Number 306-02-018D as in David, from AR5 Agricultural Residential 5 acre minimum to SR 2.5 Single Family Residential 2.5 acre minimum zoning district. James?
Okay. Pictured here is the vicinity map of the subject parcel. The subject parcel is highlighted in red. For reference, the Peavine Trail right-of-way is right in front of this parcel, and they actually have a driveway that parallels the Peavine Trail. Perkinsville Road is here to the north, and that's probably a good quarter mile in. So here's the current zoning for the area. We have AR5 to the west and Chino Meadows 3 here to the south, which is zoned for 7,000 square foot lots. Across the Peavine, we have 2 acre minimum. So this will be matching the density of the area pretty well, except for to the south where the density is much higher. The request is to rezone the property from a 5 acre minimum agricultural residential zoning to a 2.5 acre minimum single family residential zoning. The applicant's intent is to rezone and split the property and give that split to their son and daughter-in-law. Bless you. So allowed under the current zoning are single-family residences and customary accessory uses, as well as a 1,200 square foot guest home. There are also allowed farm stands in agricultural zoning. When we move to single-family residential, you lose your farm abilities, and the maximum size of a guest home is reduced to 800 square feet instead of 1,200 square feet. The proposed site plan is here. The existing home is located in this small 2.5 acre or smaller 2.5 acre area, and the proposed split is here, and there are no really setback issues or anything like that with this parcel. And the current conditions are a single-family home built in 1989. They've done a few additions from there. Public outreach, again, the 300-foot buffer was completed, as well as a neighborhood meeting. The neighborhood meeting was held on site on the 23rd of May, and the only attendance was family members, so there were about 5 family members. Per our new guidelines that were adopted during our change from neighborhood meetings requiring staff, they submitted an affidavit with the neighborhood meeting information, and that process is going smoothly. General plan conformance, this is in what we look at as medium density residential, 2 acres or less. We are going down to about 2.5 acres, so it's in general conformance with that area, and we can't really ask them to go to a more dense zoning just for the sake of general plan conformance. So if there are any questions, I'd be happy to take them, and the applicant is here for any questions you may have.
Any questions for James?
I'd just like to have the map showing the split,
Sure thing.
since it was not included in the staff report.
Yes, here it is. Yeah.
I just would like to take a look at it. I didn't see any problems with it, but I just wanted to take a look at it, that's all, to see how it was all coming together.
No problem. We had a bit of a delay with the surveyor, so.
Okay. Now, is that access, like road access off the Peavine Trail?
So the Peavine Trail is it's actually a major easement about 100 feet wide, and the Peavine Trail only takes a little bit of that up. So this is within the town right-of-way, the access,
Okay.
but it's not on the Peavine Trail. It's adjacent to it.
So they have legal access like that?
Yes,
then?
they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious more than
Yeah,
anything.
it's a pretty interesting one. I went out and drove it because I was actually curious on the map. On the map, it looks like some of their property is in our property, but it's not that case. So, yeah.
Any further questions for James? Would the owner like to speak? No? All right, thank you. All right, any discussion? I'd entertain a motion.
I move, Mr. Chairman, I move to send ordinance 16821 to town council with the recommendation of approval.
Have a second?
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed unanimously.
Thank you.
All right. Item 7, non-action, non-public hearing action items. Does anybody have one of those tonight? Any discussion items? Any public comment? Well, we do have public here tonight. That's really neat.
Good news.
It's kind of exciting.
Okay. Having none of those items being taken on, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion is approved. Meeting is adjourned.